And here we are trackside at Holsted for the FIM Grand Prix Challenge. Dave Rowe with you, talking through the action throughout the afternoon. A really important day in prospect. The first time this event's been staged in Denmark since way back in 2010 at Vojens, and the biggest meeting to take place at this stadium, which was opened in 1989. 16 riders competing for just 4 guaranteed places in next year's GP series. This is often one of the most brutal and eventful meetings on the calendar, and it's one where any mistake can prove very costly. We have 6 current GP riders trying to protect their status, 4 former GP riders looking to force their way back in, and 6 riders who would be full-time newcomers if they were to make it through today. Bring on the action. This should be quite some. You'll see Jan Kvek of the Czech Republic. So Kibera with an important afternoon in front of him, and he goes at number 1 in this afternoon's order. Jan Kvek rides at number 2, the Czech, who is in his second full Grand Prix season, but having a current position of 11th, and he's 15 points off the top 7, so again an important one for him as he tries to make it through. Kim Nilsson, the former Grand Prix rider back in 2023, and comes in for the injured Erik Riss here this afternoon. Look, the Swede looking to work his way back in. Rode the wild card in Breda recently, scoring 4 points. Here's Andrzej Lebedev, the rider currently in the top 7 of the Grand Prix, and he therefore is very well placed in several ways. Also the current Speedway European Championship winner from last year, and in the shake-up for this season as well, so he's got several ways of trying to book his place in next year's Grand Prix. Michael Jepsen Jensen, former Grand Prix winner way back in 2012 at Vojens, but his last full-time Grand Prix season was back in 2015. He's got a chance here today given his form so far this season. Number 6 fellow Dane Anders Thompson, and another rider who's some way off the 7th place mark in the Grand Prix, 13th place off 7th place at the moment, although he has made the last chance qualifier in 5 out of 8 rounds, second in part of its last season. Francis Gus, the young Latvian, 22 years of age. His previous GP experience as a track reserve at Riga in the last couple of years. Kevin Wilbert rides at number 8, 3 previous Grand Prix challenges for the German in his career, was track reserve at Tetro back in the Grand Prix in 2018, now 36 years of age. Moving on to number 9, one of the most experienced riders here, Martin Vaclik, the Slovakian, former world number 3, current world number 5, but way down the list in the Grand Prix at the moment. This could be a really important meeting for him. He finished second in the Grand Prix Challenge back in 2023 at Islavet. Kai Huckenbeck rides at 10, also in his second current full Grand Prix season, but 15th in the standings, so again trying to save his place for next year. The winner of the qualifier in Abelsberg with 14 points. Matti Degar there is at number 12. He is Mr. Grand Prix Challenge, having won the Grand Prix Challenge on 3 occasions in his career. And Leon Madsen actually rides at number 11, and he is a wild card for this evening's event. But he would certainly feel, the former world number 2, that he should be back in the Grand Prix series. Rasmus Jensen, 31 years of age now, and a hometown rider from Holsted, so he's going to get plenty of support as he tries to become a full-time Grand Prix rider for the very first time. And that also applies to Kasper Barina, who's now 28. His previous Grand Prix experience as a wild card at Torun. It's his first appearance ever in a Grand Prix Challenge, but good form this year, and also going well in the Speedway Euro Championship. Matthias Poistad, the young Norwegian, 20 years of age, currently 5th place in SGP 2. He's coming for Jack Holder, who has pulled out due to his strong situation in the Grand Prix at the moment, not required, he believes, to race in the Challenge. And here's Matthias Cherniak, the former SGP 2 champion and the winner of the Loniga qualifier with 14 points, looking to add another pole to the Grand Prix ranks for next year. A couple of reserves, a home rider here, Bastian Pedersen, son of former rider Ronnie Pedersen. 11th place in SGP2 last year, and again gets plenty of cheers from the crowd. And Mikael Andersson, also a famous father, son of Brian, 4th in SGP2 last year, the former SGP3 champion. They are the 2 reserves here this afternoon. We are around about 15 minutes away. Schlick finished 3rd in that meeting, so that's some experience from a long time ago on this circuit. Lineup for Heat 1 features Dominic Kibera in the red helmet colour off the inside. As I mentioned, he is a current Grand Prix rider. Next to him in blue is Jan Kivek, fellow GP man at the moment, the Czech Republic rider. Kim Nilsson, former GP man, riding in white off gate 3, coming in to replace the injured Eric Riss. And it's Andrzej Lebedev, the Latvian, who goes in yellow off the outside gate. And Lebedev, as I mentioned, very much is a key towards this meeting, especially if he finishes in the top 7 of the Grand Prix as a whole, which he is scheduled to do, even despite a mid-season dip in Manchester and Gorzhov, where he only picked up 10 points in 3 rounds. But Lebedev, apart from that, has been very solid and strong indeed this season. And it's the Grand Prix Challenge then in Holsted. Heat 1 at the start line. Kubera, Kvek, Nilsson and Lebedevs. Start marshal gets them into line, signals to the referee after Kuzmiras that we are good to go. And Heat 1 is underway, and it's a good start there from the rider in blue, Jan Kivek, but Kubera on the inside gives him a shove. Coming around the outside in yellow is Lebedevs, and Lebedevs and Kubera go neck and neck up the back straight, and Kubera leads into turn 3. Lebedevs will try and turn back off the 4th bend, but coming through on the inside is Kim Nilsson, and Kim Nilsson in white moves through into 2nd place. Good competitive action here on what can be a tight circuit, and the riders working hard in the opener with Jan Kivek going to the back, but Kubera has the advantage with Nilsson slightly looking up there off the 4th bend, and that may give a chance to Andrzej Lebedevs to try and hit back. Of course, for a top 4 place, you're going to need a big score here, certainly in double figures, 11-12 points to make it through, and Lebedevs, one of the big favourites here, looks set to drop points here in the opener, because he's now dropping back into the clutches of Jan Kivek, and Kubera made it well off the inside gate there, got there alongside Kivek, but managed to force his way through, and that was important in the early stages. And Dominic Kubera making a perfect start to the Grand Prix Challenge in the opening race. Kubera, the race winner. Kim Nilsson, a solid effort there for 2nd place, barging his way through on the inside of Lebedevs coming off the 4th bend. 2 points for Kim Nilsson, but 3 for Dominic Kubera, the race winner. Currently in 9th place in the Grand Prix through this meeting here this evening. Dominic Kubera, the winner of the opening race here in Holsted, with Kim Nilsson in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Andrzej Lebedev's 3rd, he gets just the 1, and Jan Kivek missing out, no points there for the Czech rider. That'll be on the 1 minute 30 time allowance pretty much straight away for it's his 5th Grand Prix Challenge. He's never actually made it through one though. Jepsen Jensen will go on the inside gate here in the red helmet colour. Francis Gus for Latvia going in blue off gate 2. Gate number 3 in white is Anders Thompson, who's a current Grand Prix rider, currently in 10th place in the standings. And Kevin Walbert goes in yellow off the outside, who came through that spectacular sequence of runoffs in Lonigo to finish 5th on the day there. Certainly Jepsen Jensen is a rider who many will feel has got the ability to make it back into the Grand Prix series. The 2012 World Under-21 champion in his last Grand Prix way back in 2018 as a wild card at Voyens. His best GP Challenge results, a couple of 9-point finishes. 9 points at Glasgow 3 years ago, 9 points at Togliatti in 2017. What can he do here from the inside gate in Heat 2? Jepsen Jensen, Gust, Thompson and Walbert at the start line. Dominic Kubera, the first race winner here, moving on to Heat 2. Where they go, and Jepsen Jensen makes a decent one there from the inside gate in red, gets to the back clearly in front of Gus in 2nd place, with Thompson in white trying to go around the outside on the back straight. Gus trying to ride him out into bend 3, but Thompson looks to get it over on the 3rd and 4th bend with Jepsen Jensen out in front, and Thompson sweeps around the outside, almost contact there with Gus down the main straight, and I think Thompson's got through into 2nd place. So Jepsen Jensen leads Thompson in a Danish 1-2 in Heat 2, and Jepsen Jensen still with the advantage over Thompson, who swings a bit wide there off the 4th turn, but I think he's got clear of Francis Gus with Kevin Volbert at the back, and Jepsen Jensen, who has such a tidy, classy style when he's out in front, makes it look very straightforward indeed, and he is doing so here in Heat 2. Anders Thompson in 2nd place, Francis Gus in 3rd over Kevin Volbert, and on his last lap here, Jepsen Jensen looking to make the perfect start to the meeting. 33 years of age now, but enjoying a real career renaissance in the last couple of years, and could it be his day, his night here in Holsted, as Jepsen Jensen takes the flag in Heat 2 from Anders Thompson, with Francis Gus in 3rd place, and the home crowd enjoying that result from MJJ in Heat 2 as he gets the victory. First of 5 rides, and what they will hope will be first of 5 straightforward rides here this evening. Decade, what a story that would be for Michael Jepsen Jensen. He wins heat number 2 then. Second place goes to Anders Thompson. Solid ride from him, getting the better of Francis Gust in the early stages. 1 point there for Gust, and Kevin Warbert out the back. On his night, and it will be Kai Hülkenberg in red here off the inside gate. Next to him in blue is Leon Madsen, former Grand Prix rider, former world number 2 on 2 occasions. Martin Vaclik goes in white off gate 3. He was talking about his struggles of 2025 earlier in the show, and in yellow off the outside it is Matti Zegar, the man who has won this meeting on 3 occasions in the past and got through it on a further occasion. Win European Championships as he has done 2 occasions in his career before, and won at Gustro a couple of weeks ago in the second round of that series. Looking back on the inside, Madsen goes off gate 2, Vaclik off gate 3, and Matti Zegar goes off the outside. Start Marshall not happy with Martin Vaclik's position there off the gate 3 in white. Now he's in line, and a very strong lineup here at the start line for heat 3. Riders would expect to be involved in the shake-up, and Leon Madsen gets to the bend in front of Kai Hülkenberg on those first 2 turns. Madsen in blue gets the advantage, and coming around the outside in yellow, that's a good ride by Matti Zegar in the early stages, and he's in the second place there on the third bend. They've managed to squeeze out Martin Vaclik. Zegar's keeping the run going all the way around the outside here. Madsen covered things off there quite neatly off the 4th bend. Battle on for 3rd place as Vaclik goes around the outside of Hülkenberg. He'll try and keep it going here. That's mighty tight going into bend 3, and Martin Vaclik finds no way through and may find himself reversed to the back here because Hülkenberg goes back through on the inside. Well, Vaclik there was trying to get round the outside of Zegar up on the top turn, but in doing so he sent himself, or he was sent too wide depending on which way you look at it, and that caused him to lose out to Kai Hülkenberg. He's trying to hit back here for 3rd place, but Leon Madsen is out in front, and Matti Zegar's got speed in 2nd. They're still battling away for 3rd place with Vaclik trying to get back in the equation, goes diving down the inside into the final bend. That's going to go right to the line. Madsen wins it, and the 3rd place is tight on the finish line as Hülkenberg tries to turn back. So Leon Madsen takes the win, but all the fun and games very much behind him. Matti Zegar battling hard there in 2nd place, but a frantic scrap for 3rd involving Martin Vaclik and Kai Hülkenberg, who were of heat 3, with Matti Zegar a good first bend by him to make it round the outside in 2nd place. And it was close to the checkered flag for 3rd, between was 2nd, Vaclik was 3rd, and Hülkenberg was at the back. That's confirmation of the result of heat 3. Here's heat 4 with Mathias Pogestad, the young Norwegian, riding in red off the inside. Kasper Verena in blue off gate 2. Matthias Cherniak in white off gate 3, and Rasmus Jensen going in yellow off the outside. This will complete the first block of races here in Holsted. Kasper Verena is the rider in blue. His first appearance in a Grand Prix challenge. Currently 2nd in the Speedway European Championship standing, so has a chance of going through that one as well. 4 points behind the current leader, Patrick Dudek. That's the rider in blue, Kasper Verena. Pogestad off the inside in red. Verena goes in blue. Cherniak goes in white, and Jensen goes in yellow. Home rider, don't forget, Rasmus Jensen knows this track well. We have seen already in the early stages a decent line around the outside on turns 1 and 2. So what can Jensen do in the early part of heat 4? Away they go then, and Verena gets a decent getaway there from the inside, but gets a shove there from Pogestad. Strong first bend by Pogestad, and Cherniak gets a nudge as well, and it looks like Pogestad leads into the top turn with Verena in 2nd place, and Jensen could find no way through, and now neck and neck into lap 2 as Verena tries to send one down the inside of Pogestad and does so, but could overshoot the corner there on turn 2. Gets the speed up the back straight once again. It's a good ride by Kasper Verena to race lead here from Pogestad, who was very strong on the first turn, but Verena came back even stronger, and Cherniak's now got 3rd place here over Rasmus Jensen. So disappointing for the home track rider, finding himself at the back of this heat 4. Has been frustrated with his form so far this year, Rasmus Jensen, on several occasions, and not making the start he would want here in his opening ride. But Verena, lack of Grand Prix experience overall, never appeared in a Grand Prix challenge either, but really has been going well this season in several of his meetings in Poland and in the Speedway Euro Championship too, and he really has carved things up in heat 4 as he pulled clear from Pogestad over the last 2 laps or so, and that's an emphatic victory by Kasper Verena in heat 4 to become our 4th winner of the meeting. Good battle in the early stages because Pogestad was strong on the opening turn trying to force him wide, but Verena. So that does complete the first set of races. Verena the winner of heat 4 with Pogestad in second place, Cherniak in third, and Rasmus Jensen at the back. And with a reminder that the top 4 on the day go through to next season's Grand Prix as of right. That means our 4 race winners are the riders currently in position, with lots more action to come. Michael Jepsen Jensen, Casper Verina, Dominic Kubera and Leon Madsen, your opening 4 race winners here in Holsted. Rasmus Jensen, Dominic Kubera, Michael Jepsen Jensen and Martin Vashlik the lineup, and Kubera and Jepsen Jensen both winners in their first ride. So Rasmus Jensen, who didn't score first time out from the outside, now has the inside on this freshly graded and watered track, with Kubera, who was impressive early on in the opening race. He goes in blue off gate 2. Jepsen Jensen, also a winner first time out, riding in white off gate 3, and Martin Vashlik just a 1 point so far to his name, going off the outside in yellow. And double figures so important, and has seen him finish 3rd and 5th in the last 2 years, but under pressure, the Slovakian Vashlik off the outside gate here. Jensen off the inside, Kubera off gate 2, Jepsen Jensen gate 3, and Vashlik off the outside. Heat 5 gets underway, and the sharp starting Dominic Kubera makes it again there in blue off gate 2, and he leads here up the back straight for the first time. Rasmus Jensen trying to get the front wheel there through on the inside, but can't quite do so. That's forced Jepsen Jensen down to 3rd place here on the inside off bend 4, and Jepsen Jensen barging through inside Rasmus Jensen at the start of lap 2, and that might take him through into 2nd place with that inside line that he does tend to ride very well indeed. Michael Jepsen Jensen, he can certainly hold the white line when he needs to, and he's doing so here to gain ground on Dominic Kubera, and looking to force his way through there. What a ride by Michael Jepsen Jensen. Kubera tries to get back around the outside, wheel to wheel stuff here in heat 5, with Jepsen Jensen surging through on the inside. Now will Kubera try and turn back off the 4th turn? They're still going for it with 1 lap to go, and I think Jepsen Jensen's got the pace here to take the advantage over Kubera in 2nd place. Fantastic stuff by Jepsen Jensen. Race leads from Kubera, with Jensen in 3rd spot and Vashlik at the back. Brilliant ride by Michael Jepsen Jensen in heat 5, and he makes it 6 points out of 6 so far. Is Jepsen Jensen on the fast track to the Grand Prix in 2026? That was a wonderful ride there, coming from 3rd to 1st. Dominic Kubera so sharp from the gate, but Jepsen Jensen made the inside work for a couple of laps, timed his move superbly to force through in the meeting so far. So Jepsen Jensen, the winner of heat 5, goes on to 6 points, as I say. Kubera with 2 points to go on to 5. Rasmus Jensen in 3rd place on 1, and Martin Vashlik no points there on 1 as well. And those 2 riders both on the city. Is the rider in white. He's also under pressure points wise after his first ride. It'll be Casper Verina going in red. He won his first outing, so a good start to the meeting for Verina. It's Kai Huckenbeck going in blue off gate 2, yet to score so far. Jan Kvek in white, also yet to score so far, and Anders Thompson in yellow off the outside with 2 points from his opening ride in this meeting. Verina off the inside then in heat 6, Huckenbeck off gate 2, Kvek off gate 3, Thompson off the outside. Again, the start marshal not entirely happy with what's going on at the start line. Jan Kvek in white being pulled up there. Tapes up on heat 6, and from gate 2 Huckenbeck is there, and Verina sending him wide there on the first 2 turns. So wide that Huckenbeck goes to the back, in fact got out of shape on turn 2, and Verina here with the advantage, and Anders Thompson in yellow going for the run round the outside, battling with Kvek off turn 4. They're neck and neck into the 2nd lap, but Verina still with the advantage, and the pole out in front, and he holds a mid-track line and goes round the outside there off bend 2. Under pressure here from Anders Thompson. Yellow's got plenty of speed, trying to build up there and trying to maybe turn back there off the 4th turn. They may have seen what Jepsen Jensen did also in the previous race. So far Casper Verina with that style of his out in front. The battle is on for 2nd, because Kvek comes back into the equation here against Thompson. Huckenbeck is missing out on the back. He's some way behind with 1 lap to go, and it looks like Verina is in control of heat 6, and it looks like Anders Thompson has maybe just about got 2nd place under control, but certainly Kvek still working hard on the inside. Closed off by Thompson into bends 3 and 4 for the final time, and Casper Verina is going to win heat 6 ahead of Anders Thompson in 2nd place, with Jan Kvek in 3rd, and that gets Casper Verina onto 6 points, just the same as Michael Jepsen Jensen. Well, could it be the night for Casper Verina to make it into the Grand Prix for the first time as a full-time Grand Prix rider? People like to see new faces, of course, so that might be a popular one. Verina winning heat 6, moving on to 6 points in the meeting. Anders Thompson solid so far with 2 second places. He's on to 4. Jan Kvek picks up a point there in 3rd, and Kai Huckenbeck yet to score so far in the meeting at the back. He really got squeezed out on the opening 2 turns. So we move on to Heat 7, and Leon Madsen here goes in red, winner first time out. Mathias Pogestad, who we heard before the race, or before this block of races in the interview, he's got 2 points from his first outing, he goes in blue. Francis Gust rides in white with 1 point so far, and Kim Nielsen, a second place first time out, he rides in yellow. And Alex mentioned during the interview with Matthias Van Leon Madsen on the inside, Pogestad gate 2, Gust gate 3, Nielsen off the outside. Heat 7 gets underway, Madsen lifts off the inside, but the bike still drives him to the first bend where he moves out Pogestad on the first 2 turns, and Pogestad gets cut back on by Kim Nielsen, who tries to dive down the inside, trying to dive bomb Leon Madsen in fact, but Madsen knew too much for that one, and Madsen race leads off turn 4. They're really stacking up for second, third and fourth though, because Francis Gust getting involved, going into second place in white. Pogestad putting his front wheel in, also trying to get the better of Kim Nielsen, and he'll surge down the inside into bends 3 and 4. Whilst they're all scrapping away, Leon Madsen is checking off and clear out in front, and the battle is still on for third place as Nielsen gives Pogestad a shove into that latest bend, almost 3 abreast actually, still as they battle away for the minor places, and that battle for the minor places is taking place so far behind. Leon Madsen out in front. It's Gus currently in second place with Nielsen in third, and Pogestad has gone to the back. Entertaining stuff here for the places, and that's carrying on. It's carrying on behind Leon Madsen, who is certainly stamping authority early on this meeting, and he joins the riders who have gone double victory so far in the Grand Prix Challenge as Leon Madsen wins Heat 7. The Danish air horns going off here as Madsen, who they want to see back in the Grand Prix, a Grand Prix regular all the way from 2019 on to the end of 2024 when he lost his spot to his night's work with 2 rides and 2 wins. Leon Madsen winning Heat 7. Second place Francis Gust moves on to 3. Third place Kim Nielsen also on 3, and Matthias Pogestad that time missing out. He is left on 2. Riding in red, 1 point from his first ride. Kevin Walbert going in blue, didn't score first time out. Matti Zegar riding in the white helmet colour, he was competitive first time out, scoring 2, and Mateusz Czerniak rides in yellow, and he picked up a third place from his first ride. Czerniak going off the outside top 4 here and makes certain of qualification. Heat 8 at the start line, Lebedev's off the inside, Walbert gate 2, Zegar gate 3, Czerniak off the outside. Heat 8 gets underway, and Lebedev's off the inside makes a good one, as does Czerniak from 4, and Czerniak turns back really neatly there off the second bend with 3 abreast at the back straight, and it's Kevin Walbert now who race leads ahead of Czerniak in second place. Lebedev pins the inside on bends 3 and 4, around the outside goes Czerniak. It's still Kevin Walbert out in front, but he's got people queuing up behind him, and Czerniak almost there, gets off the bike on turn 2 as he almost overslides. Lebedev's now coming charging through on the inside, as is Lebedev's looking to move out Kevin Walbert up the top turn. I think he's done so, yes he has. Lebedev takes the lead from Walbert in second place, and now it's Zegar in third, because Czerniak had a really bad lap there with a couple of mistakes and he's dropped to the back, but Andrzej Lebedev's after 1 point in his first ride has now got himself out in front in Heat 8 with Kevin Walbert in second place. Matti Zegar still trying to claw back further the ground. Walbert's a bit defensive there in mid-track in second place, and Zegar might have the chance to steal second from him. He certainly won't steal the lead because Lebedev's is way out in front in Heat 8. Zegar's big sweep round the outside is I think just about covered off by Walbert on the run to the line. Lebedev takes the flag. Kevin Walbert was certainly defending strongly there in Heat 8. We saw him in that dramatic run-off with Paco Castagna in Lonigo to reach this point of the qualification process. Andrzej Lebedev, as I say, he's on to 4 points so far in the meeting. Kevin Walbert second place, gets his first points of the contest, he gets 2. Matti Zegar in third, he's on to 3, and Mateusz Czerniak there missing out, and he is left with 1 point so far. So what it means is we have 3 unbeaten riders with 2 rides each complete. Michael Jepsen-Jensen, Casper Verina and Leon Madsen all on 6 points, and Dominic Kubera currently in that all-important fourth place on 5, with Andrzej Lebedevs and Anders Thompson leading the challenge. They are on 4. 3 unbeaten riders, Jepsen-Jensen, Verina and Madsen, after 8 races in Holsted. Verina and Madsen are the 3 unbeaten riders so far, and Dominic Kubera currently in 4th place on 5 points. This is a big race here, Heat 9, because we have Madsen riding off the outside in yellow on 6 points so far, Kubera in white off gate 3 who has 5 points, and Mateusz Czerniak goes in blue, and Anders Thompson rides in red and he's currently on 4, so he is also in contention at this stage. There may be a battle between the riders in white and yellow, Kubera and this situation at the top. Artur Kazimierz, the referee, happy with the tapes here for Heat 9. Thompson, Cherniak, Kibera and Madsen get underway. Madsen trying to come across it from the outside gate in yellow. Mateusz Cherniak here, who race leads. He made the best start of all. Dominik Kibera comes surging through in white, take the advantage. And now Leon Madsen will try and come around the outside in yellow with Cherniak in third. This could be a damaging race here for Anders Thompson out the back and set to no score at this stage. Madsen is sent out really wide there by Cherniak, but there are racing lines all around this Holsted circuit, and Madsen gets himself back across there. Very neat move there by Leon Madsen. He might not beat Dominik Kibera in this race, but second place could be all important. And Thompson now is blocked out completely by Cherniak as he tried the inside run, and this could do untold damage to Anders Thompson's hopes for a top four here this afternoon, because if he no scores here, he'll have 4 points from 3 rides, and that will leave him certainly 2 or 3 behind the mark where he wants to be come the end of Heat 12. Dominik Kibera here race leads from Leon Madsen. They'll both go on to 8 points from 3. Well placed at this stage. Mateusz Cherniak in third place, taking points away from Anders Thompson. Dominik Kibera there winning Heat 9 from Leon Madsen. Had to work for it on the first lap because Mateusz Cherniak made a good start, but throw on the inside came Dominik Kibera on the back straight, and then that enabled Leon Madsen a run at Cherniak as well. But big picture, he's still very well placed indeed. Kibera winning Heat 9 to move on to 8 points. Madsen in second place, also on to 8. It's Cherniak third, he's on 2, and Thompson at the back, and he's now playing catch up because he is on 4. Zagar in the red helmet colour. Michael Jepsen Jensen unbeaten riding in blue off gate 2. Mateusz Poistad going in white off gate 3, and it's Jan Kvek going off the outside. Would be some story if Matti Zagar could make it back into the Grand Prix at the age of Kvek off the outside. Approaching the halfway point of the Grand Prix Challenge then. Very nice on for the referee. That's a great start by Jepsen Jensen. Fantastic reaction from Jepsen Jensen in blue to take the advantage. Turning back in yellow is Jan Kvek. Kvek gets inside Jepsen Jensen there on the back straight. And Kvek here race leads as they get all stuck up into the third bend with Zagar trying to battle with Poistad. Poistad back inside Zagar. A blow here for Zagar at the back of Heat 10. And it's Jan Kvek here who race leads with Jepsen Jensen in second place and with Poistad in third. So could we be about to see Michael Jepsen Jensen lose his unbeaten tag here in Heat 10? He again holds the inside, trying to build some speed that way. That seems to be his route to success. Battle on still for third with Matti Zagar trying to make it back around the outside, but it's still Jan Kvek who race leads, and Jepsen Jensen gets very close indeed off the top turn. As they start the last lap, he's coming down the inside again. Michael Jepsen Jensen through on the inside, but down goes Jan Kvek, and that's a call for the referee to make now. Drama in Heat 10 as Kvek goes down under the challenge of Jepsen Jensen, and the red lights are on with Jan Kvek down. And that could be a big moment in the Grand Prix Challenge, because the referee will have to decide whether the fall with Jan Kvek was caused there by Michael Jepsen Jensen, and if it was, then Jepsen Jensen going for 3 points there would leave himself with none. Or did Kvek go by himself on that first 2 turn under the challenge? We will just hopefully make sure that Jan Kvek has been in the wars this season on 2 or 3 occasions. He's getting to his feet, so let's see it again here. Michael Jepsen Jensen really tight off the fourth bend. Narrow defence by Kvek. Was there contact there going into the bend as Kvek went down? That's what the referee will have to sort out. Well, Jan Kvek is okay. Phil Morris walking back in with him. Kvek was very mid-track and narrow defending. Jepsen Jensen, I think, was entitled to go for the move on the inside there. But which way is the referee going to go on this one? Jepsen Jensen is excluded. Michael Jepsen Jensen is excluded. So that means that he is stuck on 6 points from 3 rides. Goes on to 5 points. Kvek moves on to 4. We move on to Heat 11 after that major talking point. And Kevin Wilbert here rides off the inside in yellow. 2 points from his first 2 rides. Martin Vashnik goes in blue, just 1 point so far. Kim Nielsen rides in white. He's currently on 3. And we have our other unbeaten rider, Kasper Verena, who's actually the only unbeaten rider now in the meeting, with 6 points from 2 rides. He goes in yellow off the outside. So a win here for Verena would take him to the top of the end to fight his way back in. Walbert on the inside then, Vashlik on 2, Nilsson on 3, Verena off the outside, and Verena unbeaten so far. Away they go with heat 11. What can Verena do from the outside? He's going to have to work for it from here because the rider in blue, Martin Vashlik, has got the lead. Verena's trying to get pace up on the outside, but he could be forced out there into the bend. There's not too much room for Verena up against Kim Nilsson, and now Verena in yellow will try and turn back and try and take 2 for the price of 1 into the second lap, and he's done so. That's a fair inside move by Verena, going inside both Kevin Walbert and Kim Nilsson. Walbert comes charging back though in red, and would you believe Casper Verena at the back once more. Unbelievable stuff here in heat 10. Verena turns back again, he goes back to second, but Walbert will try again on lap 3 with Nilsson now on the outside run. It's all taking place behind Martin Vashlik there in blue, who's miles out in front. But Casper Verena has ridden every line of this circuit on numerous occasions to go from 4th to 2nd to 4th to 2nd again, and he's got second place, and that will be a useful second place for him as they battle away for 3rd with Kim Nilsson right on the inside there, inside Kevin Walbert into the top turn. Vashlik is the race winner, and second place to Casper Verena. 3rd place Kim Nilsson, and Kevin Walbert out the back. Well, Martin Vashlik won't have any idea what went on behind him there, but what did was pretty spectacular. And in the end, Casper Verena managed to get 2 points from the race to join Kubera and Madsen on the 8-point mark, and currently with a 2 briefly with Kvek Zagar Poristad. The result of 11 is just about to be confirmed officially, but we know Martin Vashlik is the winner of that race. It takes him on to in second place, moves on to 8, Nilsson in 3rd, and Kevin Walbert at the back of heat 11. Heat 12 on the way, and we can tell you that Bastian Pedersen rides in red here in place of Rasmus Jensen. I mentioned Rasmus Jensen missed his meeting in Poland yesterday. There is some kind of an injury there, unfortunately, and that's disappointing for the home crowd that Rasmus Jensen is not continuing in the meeting. But a chance for Bastian Pedersen, also rides for Holsted in the Danish League. He goes in red here off the inside gate. Lebedev goes in blue off gate 2. Important race for him here because he has seen others drop points in this block of races. Hulkenberg rides in white, not the best of days so far for him. He has yet to score. That's an understatement, actually, not the best of days. And riding in yellow off the outside is Francis Gust, who has got 3, but certainly though, because he's got the chance of that in the future. Pedersen in red then off the inside. Lebedev's in blue off gate 2. Hulkenberg in white off gate 3. Gus yellow off the outside. Sharp start by Lebedev's there off gate 2 in blue. He race leads with Gus in yellow trying to go around the outside, but Bastian Pedersen there in red is in second place. Good ride by the young Dane, currently leading 2 of the regulars in the meeting for second place. What can Hulkenberg do in white? Hulkenberg and Gus are really battling away there for 3rd and 4th places with Lebedev's race leading. Turning back is Francis Gus trying to get that 3rd place, but they're doing so behind the reserve. Bastian Pedersen, who holds that 2nd place for now, and right out in front is Andrzej Lebedev's the race leader onto his 3rd lap. He has certainly space to look over his shoulder, see what's going on behind him, and what is going on behind him is that Bastian Pedersen is doing a really tidy ride here to hold off both Kai Hulkenberg and Francis Gus. 1 lap to go for Andrzej Lebedevs, who had a clash with Nicky Pedersen last night in Polish League action, but none the worse for that. 2nd place is Bastian Pedersen in red. Good ride by him with Kai Hulkenberg in 3rd, but Lebedev's off that final turn with the win in heat 12, and he's now in the top 4 overall with 3 rides apiece completed. Lebedev's wins heat 12, 2nd place to Bastian Pedersen with Kai Hulkenberg in 3rd place and Francis Gus at the back. And Lebedev's moves himself into top 4, well, more than top 4 contention, into the top 4 on the night. And like I said at the start, moves takes 3 points and moves on to 7 points with that. Reserve Bastian Pedersen in 2nd place. Kai Hulkenberg in 3rd gets his 1st point of the meeting, and Francis Gus, no score there, he is on 3. So 12 races complete. They've all had 3 rides, and Dominic Kubera, Leon Madsen and Casper Verena lead the meeting on 8 points apiece. Andrzej Lebedevs is on 7, Michael Jepsen Jensen on 6 after exclusion, damaging for him. Matti Zagar on 5, Vashlik, Kvek, Thompson and Nilsson all on 4. So the path to the Grand Prix in 2026 is becoming clearer. Certainly the main contenders are becoming clearer, and at the moment advantage Kubera, Madsen and Verena in Holsted. A really big race in the Grand Prix Challenge. The Grand Prix Challenge which has Kubera, Madsen and Verina top of the standings on 8 points apiece, and Lebedev just behind on 7. And if you look at the lineup for this Heat 13, we see both Verina and Kubera in the race, and Zagar, who's on 5 points and trying to catch up ground. Francis Gus off the inside in red, he's on 3. Zagar in blue off gate 2 on 5, and Verina and Kubera, white and yellow, both on 8 points so far. And a win here for either, which would take them on to 11, would leave them in an increasingly strong position with one ride to go here. We've seen some entertaining racing in Holsted, and the blue helmet cover there will be keen to get points on the board and keep himself in contention. He's got 5 in the meeting at this stage. Heat 13, important race. Gus off the inside, Zagar off gate 2, Verina in white off gate 3, Kubera yellow off the outside, and Verina makes a really good start there in white. Lovely start, textbook start in fact. Gus lifts off the second bend, through in second place there goes Dominic Kubera, with Zagar going 3rd and Gus at the back. So we do have our joint meeting leaders in the 1st and 2nd here in Heat 13, and it's Verina who has the advantage over Kubera, with Zagar in 3rd place. In 3rd place won't do Zagar too many favours, we'll leave him with 6 from 4, and that's not going to be enough for top 4 on the day. It might mean he can challenge for high places behind the top 4, and not too much more than that. Challenging out in front, Dominic Kubera trying the inside run. We did see before though, Jepsen Jensen lost 2 points going for 3, and Dominic Kubera might decide here a 2nd place might not be the end of the world given the situation in the meeting overall. It would give him 10 points from 4 compared to Verina's 11, but it would certainly keep things ticking along nicely into the final bend they go, and Verina has controlled this race after a really good start. Kubera has tracked him all the way. That's the way they finish 1st and 2nd, the Polish 1-2 in Heat 13, and Kasper Verina 11 points from 4 rides. He is very, very close to being a Grand Prix rider in 2026. He is now 1 point in front of Dominic Kubera, with Leon Madsen to come, and with Lebedev. 4 is a really strong situation here. Verina wins it to go on to 11, Kubera 2nd to go on to 10, Zagar in 3rd place, he is on 6, and Francis Gus, no scoring there, he is on 3. So 11. Jepsen Jensen, by the way, goes in Heat 15 in this block. He's currently in 5th place in the standings. But what it also means is the riders currently on 4 points. The likes of Vashlik, Kvek, Thompson, Nilsson cannot now catch Kasper Verina. So he's only really got to worry about Jepsen Jensen and Lebedevs at this stage. Heat 14 is at the start line with Jan Kvek in red off the inside. Mikael Andersson, the 2nd reserve, he goes in blue in place of the injured Rasmus Jensen. It's Kevin Walbert going in white, and Leon Madsen goes in yellow. So we have seen Verina go. Andersson off gate 2, Walbert gate 3, Madsen off the outside. Heat 14 at the start line, they go away. Madsen tries to drive away there on the outside in yellow. It's Jan Kvek who gets the bend in front, and of course we saw him lead Michael Jepsen Jensen in the previous time he was on track, and eventually came down with Jepsen Jensen being excluded. Now what can Leon Madsen do on the outside here in Heat 14, with Kvek holding the advantage on the inside gate. Madsen with speed on the outside. It's Andersson in 3rd place here over Walbert. Madsen looking to make wide lines, trying to make some swoops here to get the better of Jan Kvek, but he has to be wary of the situation, because again, 2 points would be useful, 3 would be fantastic. Kvek with the lead, and Madsen's going round him here off turn 2, and Leon Madsen gets round Jan Kvek to the cheers of the home crowd here in Denmark, and Leon Madsen is off that turn with the advantage. Jan Kvek in 2nd place, with Mikael Andersson currently running a 3rd, but Madsen, as with Verina in the previous race, taking a big stride towards Grand Prix 2026. He's getting it done from wherever he starts from. Leon Madsen winning Heat 14 from Jan Kvek, with Mikael Andersson in 3rd place and Kevin Walbert at the back, and that's Leon Madsen on to 11 points from 4 rides as well. The wheelie of celebration, Madsen's nearly there. He takes it from Kvek, and Kvek certainly improved in the 2nd half of the meeting. He is left with 6. Leon Madsen is already in double figures, 11 points from 4 rides. Kvek in 2nd place moves on to 6. Mikael Andersson in 3rd place to reserve there, and Kevin Walbert at the back, he only has 2. So still 5th overall in the standings with those 2 race victories, so it might not be the end of the world as long as he can get decent points here. Cherniak goes in red off the inside gate with 2 so far. Nilsson goes in blue off gate 2, he's on 4. Hülkenberg is in white, he's only got 1. And Jepsen Jensen off the outside in yellow with 6. So if he can go on to 9 here, then that will put some pressure on 3, and Jepsen Jensen off the outside here in heat 15. Green light comes on and away they go, and that's a good start there from the inside gate by Cherniak, and Jepsen Jensen will have to work from the back here in heat 15. He goes flying around the outside of Nilsson on the back straight, and Jepsen Jensen through into 3rd place, but Hülkenberg is holding 2nd, and Cherniak holds the advantage. Jepsen Jensen on the inside off the 4th bend with plenty of speed there to move through on the inside, and plenty of space between him and Kai Hülkenberg on the 2nd lap. So Mateusz Cherniak with the lead, Jepsen Jensen in 2nd place, but a right old scrap still going on, because Kai Hülkenberg with speed in 3rd, trying to make it back round the outside of Jepsen Jensen, and I think he's done so. Yes, he has. So Kai Hülkenberg is through into 2nd place, and what can Jepsen Jensen do here in 3rd off the 2nd turn, losing ground? In fact, the ground is being gained by Hülkenberg, who's got a lovely outside line going there around turns 3 and 4. He's got that 2nd place. He's actually threatening Cherniak here on the last lap. Jepsen Jensen's maintaining an inside line here as he tries to force his way back into contention. But bad news here for Jepsen Jensen. Good news for Mateusz Cherniak. Very good news for Kasper Verina and Leon Madsen. It's a win for Cherniak in a dramatic heat 15. It's 2nd place for Kai Hülkenberg, and it's only 3rd place for Michael Jepsen Jensen, who is left with 7 points from 4 rides, and that means that Verina and Madsen can only be overtaken on the day by Kubera and Lebedevs, and that means they can start to celebrate their place in the 2016. Jensen, who have been so good winning his first 2 rides, but that 3rd place there leaves him on 7. Hülkenberg with his best ride of the meeting so far on to 3. Jepsen Jensen, as I say, on to 7, and Kim Nilsson is left on 4. It's not the end for Jepsen Jensen by any means, because he's currently placed 4th overall with that place, although Lebedev's to come in heat 16. But the top 3 pulling clear. Kubera has a 3-point gap currently over Jepsen Jensen and Lebedevs, with Lebedevs still to come here in heat 16. But crucially, Verina and Madsen have that 4-point gap that cannot be overhauled in heats 17 to 20. Martin Vaclik rides in red off the inside here. He's currently on 4. Anders Thompson also on 4, goes in blue. Andrzej Lebedevs in white, he is on 7. And Mateusz Pogestad with 3, he goes in yellow. Could still be a scramble here for places behind the what appears to be the certain top 3. Although if Lebedevs wins this race, then it will make it an almost certain top 4, because that would mean then that he would only need a point to be sure. Off the outside, heat 16 at the start line, where they go. Vaclik lifting slightly off the inside gate, battling with Thompson, who gets there in front of him. And look at Pogestad here in yellow, and would you believe it, Lebedev's here in trouble, although he goes into 3rd place and now back into 2nd inside Vaclik on the 3rd and 4th bend. So Thompson with the lead here, Lebedev's in 2nd place, Vaclik in 3rd, and for a moment there, Andrzej Lebedev found himself at the back of heat 16. Back into 2nd place now, which would take him on to 9 in the meeting and into a reasonably secure 4th place overall, as Anders Thompson moves on to his 3rd lap, and Lebedevs goes charging down the inside there. Anders Thompson went wide off the 4th bend, and Lebedevs picked his pocket with a real burst of pace, and that might well turn 2 points into 3. Andrzej Lebedevs with the advantage into bend 3 and 4. Thompson trying to fight back, really got caught out there off the 4th turn, and he's now back in the 2nd place with Vaclik in 3rd. Vaclik won't be going any further forward in this meeting this evening as they come into 3 and 4, and Andrzej Lebedevs here is going to win the race. Is he? Because Anders Thompson trying hard on the final turn, but Lebedevs is there with the win, coming right through from the back. He was in last place on the first 2 turns. He turned it back for the inside, and then he kept the inside running on the end of lap 2 into lap 3 to surge inside Anders Thompson and take the victory there. That moves him on to 10 points, and our 4 for Andrzej Lebedevs in heat 16 means that he has 10 points. Anders Thompson is on 6 with 2nd place. Martin Vaclik is on 5 with 3rd, and Mateusz Pogestad failing to score there. He is left on 3. So if you look at the standings with 16 heats gone, we have 2 riders who are already confirmed qualifiers for Grand Prix 26. That's Kasper Verina and Leon Madsen with 11 points apiece. Lebedevs and Kubera both on 10, and so the only way they can miss out or find themselves in a runoff is if they come last in their next ride, with Jepsen Jensen winning his final ride, which would leave them both on 10 points. But significant is that Lebedevs is a likely top 7 qualifier in the Grand Prix. Kubera might be a top 7 qualifier in the Grand Prix, and therefore 5th particularly and 6th overall on the day is also important, and that's the likes of Jepsen Jensen, Kvek, Thompson, Zagar to scrap over in the final races. What we do know is that Kasper Verina and Leon Madsen are through to Grand Prix 26. Madsen and indeed to Kasper Verina, who are through to Grand Prix 2026. Here's Heat 17. Dominic Kubera, Kevin Walbert goes in blue, riding in white is Matthias Poistad, and Kai Hülkenberg rides in yellow. Dominic Kubera here needs 1 point to confirm his place as well back in the Grand Prix for next season. He needs a point. Madsen and Lebedev. So all about Dominic Kubera here, riding in the red helmet colour. Can he secure his place with a point here in Heat 17? Walbert on gate 2, Poistad gate 3, Hülkenberg off the outside, and Kubera, a good start there from the rider in red to lead. Dominic Kubera here with the advantage. Kevin Walbert in second place, Poistad in third, with Hülkenberg at the back, and this looks like being just what Dominic Kubera requires here in Heat 17. Rider who is currently in his second full Grand Prix season, but has been in and around the edge of qualification. He's had several battles with Bartosz Marzik down the way, and will certainly dearly love to be back in for 2026, and as things stand he will be doing just that regardless of where he finishes in this season's competition, because he race leads on his third lap here, battling for second place. Kevin Walbert has that second place for now, with Matthias Poistad in third and Kai Hülkenberg out the back. And Dominic Kubera has done a very efficient job here in the Grand Prix Challenge. There's Hülkenberg going through into third place ahead of Poistad as they battle for the minor places, but that's all behind Dominic Kubera, who race leads up the back straight for the final time. Victory here will give him 13 points from 5 rides, and it will give him a confirmation of a place in the Grand Prix for next year, as for the second year running Dominic Kubera makes it through the Grand Prix Challenge. And for a rider who you may recall had a nightmare GP challenge at Glasgow back in 2022, Kasper Verina, that is confirmed so far here in Holsted this afternoon. Kubera the winner, moving on to 13 points. Walbert in second place finishing with 4. Hülkenberg in third place also with 4, and Poistad, and we'll see more of him in the years to come, he finishes with 3. Move on to Heat 18, featuring Martin Vashlik in red. He has got 5 so far, not a day he would have wanted. Kvek goes in blue on 6, moving himself up the standings, if not into the top 4. Gusts goes in white with 3, and Cherniak goes in yellow, and he is also on 5, along with Vashlik. So, again, riders records enough to get a pick if he needs it. We'll have to wait and see. Vashlik in red, then off the inside. Kvek in blue, gate 2. Gus white, gate 3. Cherniak off the outside. Heat 18 gets underway with Martin Vashlik very strong on the first turn there against Jan Kvek, sending him wide and then blasting back around the outside to take the advantage. Martin Vashlik here race leads ahead of the scrap for second place between Francis Gus in white and Matthias Cherniak in yellow. Jan Kvek really got the tough end of that first bend from Martin Vashlik, who certainly wanted it there from the inside gate. Kvek has pace out the back, but can he work his way through the field here? Certainly don't think he'll get to second or first as Vashlik race leads. He's had success before in the Grand Prix Challenge, finished second in this meeting on a couple of occasions in both 2016 and 23. It won't be a top 3 or top 4 for him today, but it will be a win, it would appear, in Heat 18 as he starts his last lap, battling on for third place. Jan Kvek inside Francis Gus on the first 2 turns, forcing Gus wide on the exit of bend 2. Kvek through into third place there, but it's going to be a win for Martin Vashlik in Heat 18 off the final turn. Vashlik with the win, second Matthias Cherniak, third Jan Kvek, and Vashlik finishing off there with a victory, moving on to 8 points from 5 rides at the moment. That puts him 5th in the standings, but that may, so whether he'll stay there might depend on what happens in Heat 19. Vashlik with the win there, finishing on 8 points from 5 rides. Cherniak in second on 7, Kvek in third also on 7, and Gus at the back with 3. Decent showing here by Cherniak to score 7 points. He is a regular in the Speedway Euro Champion Josh, so he'll be happy enough with his day's work here. Heat 19 is next up, and Kim Nilsson riding in red. 4 points from the meeting so far. Matti Zagar in blue on 6. Bastian Pedersen second ride. He is in white. Anders Thompson in yellow also on 6. So Zagar and Thompson both on 6 so far. Looking to finish on 9. And Anders Thompson in the fight for 5th place overall in the Grand Prix Challenge, which could carry a place in the Grand Prix for next year. Nilsson off the inside, Zagar gate 2, Bastian Pedersen gate 3, Thompson off the outside. It's a good start by Kim Nilsson there, and red off the inside gate. Bastian Pedersen made it 2, and would you believe the two riders who really need the race win here are in 3rd and 4th places. Anders Thompson surging through on the inside there of Bastian Pedersen. Can he make it round the outside of Kim Nilsson on the top turn? Nilsson leads here, Thompson with loads of pace to get round the outside, covered off by Nilsson into bends 1 and 2, but Nilsson goes wide off bend 2, and Thompson cuts back for the inside, and Anders Thompson race leads here. Matti Zager at the back, that's not what he wants, but Anders Thompson has the advantage. Second place now is Kim Nilsson, and Bastian Pedersen still battling away. Bastian Pedersen really keen to put it to these much more senior riders. Up the back straight they go for the 3rd time. Matti Zager finding the track all blocked in front of him as Anders Thompson race leads onto his last lap. And this would still be a very useful result here for Anders Thompson, depending on what Jepsen Jensen does in heat 20. Thompson race leads from second place is with Bastian Pedersen, 3rd is Kim Nilsson, but Anders Thompson wins heat 19 and finishes on 9 points. 9 points could be 5th place overall on the day, depending on what happens in heat 20. Thompson fighting back from a mid-meeting where there's issues to be resolved. There's confirmation that Thompson, the winner of heat 19, Pedersen 2nd, Nilsson 3rd, Zagar at the back. So Thompson is now in 5th heat. We've got Jepsen Jensen off the inside, Verina off gate 2, Madsen off gate 3, Lebedev's off gate 4. Lebedev's here needs a point to go to 11. If Jepsen Jensen wins the race and Lebedev's comes last, they'll both be on 10, and then Jepsen Jensen and Lebedev's would have a run-off for the final qualifying place. If Jepsen Jensen comes in 2nd place here, he'll go on to 9, and that will put him ahead of Anders Thompson on countback, because we go to countback at that point. There wouldn't be a run-off for 5th place, so Jepsen Jensen needs 2nd here for 5th place overall. He needs a win for a run-off with Lebedev's. The question will be, how much motivation are we going to see from Madsen and Verina? So, are they going to put a spanner in the works here? Jepsen Jensen on the inside, Verina on gate 2, Madsen gate 3, Lebedev on the outside, all to be sorted out here in heat 20, and Jepsen Jensen makes a start here from the inside gate. Jepsen Jensen race leads, Lebedev's coming around the outside in yellow, but is he going to be forced to the back? No, he goes around Brady around the outside into 2nd place, with Kasper Verina holding 3rd over Leon Madsen, and now it's Michael Jepsen Jensen with the advantage. 2nd place is Lebedev's. Well, this will take Lebedev's through and will leave Jepsen Jensen 5th, and that will then leave Jepsen Jensen cheering on Lebedev's for the remainder of the Grand Prix series, because that would take him through as well if Lebedev's comes in the top 7 of the Grand Prix. Race still on here though, with the 2 who have definitely qualified fighting down at the back for 3rd place, but Michael Jepsen Jensen closing off Andrzej Lebedev's into the 3rd and 4th bend, with Leon Madsen in 3rd place and with Kasper Verina at the back, although he's trying to come back. I wonder if they're having some fun here for 3rd and 4th place. There's not too much on it, but now turning back is Madsen once more. Out in front, Michael Jepsen Jensen in front of Andrzej Lebedev's round that final turn. They come with Michael Jepsen Jensen taking it 20 from Andrzej Lebedev's. That confirms Lebedev's in the Grand Prix for next year. Bit of a shake of hands, I think, coming here from Jepsen Jensen, because that win, that 2nd place, the win I should say, for Jepsen Jensen moves him on to 10, and that confirms him in 5th place in the meeting. And as long as Lebedev comes in the top 7 in the Grand Prix, it's the overall Grand Prix series, then that's Jepsen Jensen job done, and he will know that. He's in a strong position. It could have been so much stronger, but for the exclusion in his 3rd outing. But it may still be Michael Jepsen Jensen Grand Prix rider in 2026, as long as Lebedev does not have a nightmare in his last 2 Grand Prix rounds, because Lebedev, who is currently 8 points ahead of 8th place, that battle between Robert Lambert and Max Frick with 2 to go, and Lebedev has been very consistent with the exception of the Grand Prix in Manchester and Gorjov. So it's good for Jepsen Jensen, it's very good for Leon Madsen obviously, and Kasper Verina, who are there with their job done. There will be one more race to come here, but confirmation of heat 20 with Michael Jepsen Jensen the winner to move on to 10 points. Lebedev's in 2nd place, he's on 12. Madsen in 3rd, he's on 12, and Verina on 11 with last place there in heat 20. So let us confirm how it shakes out after heat 20 here. Kubera is the meeting leader. We have a final to come here for these top four. Kubera, Lebedevs, Madsen and Varina are your four definite Grand Prix qualifiers for next year. We have a Grand Prix newcomer in Kasper Varina, which I think people will be very pleased to see. We have Leon Madsen, who I think most people would say should be there, and we have Kubera and Lebedevs, who are both scrapping away in the Grand Prix this year as well. So Jepsen Jensen is next up in 5th place, and he will be a Grand Prix rider as long as Lebedevs comes in the top 7, or indeed Dominic Kubera. And if they both finish in the top 7, then Anders Thompson will get that place, assuming he can't make a mega charge himself. He's currently 13 points off the top 7 places. So we'll have a short pause now before they pick gates for the final. Kubera, Lebedevs, Madsen and Varina to come in the final race in Holsted. Definitely confirmed for Grand Prix 2026. This is all about meeting victory, and Dominic Kubera as the meeting leader with 13 points will be going first choice. He goes for the inside gate. So Dominic Kubera going in red in the final. As is Lebedevs next up to select. So Lebedevs going in blue off gate 2, which means that Leon Madsen, who's very relaxed indeed, no surprise there, he'll be going in yellow. And Kasper Varina there takes the final place in white. But the pressure all off these boys now. They know that the main business of the day has been done, and they can now go on and have a bit of fun. If Lebedevs finishes in the top 7 overall, and that's a position that he should be able to bring home in Wroclaw and Voyens against the threat of Robert Lambert and Max Frick. Here's the final then in Holsted, a very entertaining, well-run Grand Prix challenge with Dominic Kubera in red off the inside, Andrzej Lebedevs in blue off gate 2, Kasper Varina in white off gate 3, Leon Madsen in yellow off the outside. We haven't seen a final in this meeting before, so Dominic Kubera off the inside gate, Andrzej Lebedevs off gate 2, Kasper Varina off gate 3, and Leon Madsen off the outside. The final race here in Holsted, the final of the Grand Prix Challenge. These four have made it through, and Dominic Kubera makes a wonderful start there from the inside gate in red. He race leads with Lebedevs in second place. Speed round the outside of Kasper Varina, with Madsen trying to go in between two into the third bend. So it is fairly competitive stuff here into the top turn, and Dominic Kubera with the advantage. Battle on the second, third, fourth. Varina now goes into second place with Madsen trying the outside run off bend 2, and now Lebedevs goes to the back. So race lead is with Kubera. He's made it from the start and he's made full control of it. There's speed about Kasper Varina in second place. There's also speed about Leon Madsen in third, trying to come through on the inside, and they're queued up here behind Kubera, who gets a lovely line there off the second bend to maintain the advantage. Now Varina switching back for the inside line there off turn 4, goes to the outside again with 1 lap to go. It's Dominic Kubera from Kasper Varina. Leon Madsen in third place. Andrzej Lebedevs has virtually given up the go to the back, and it looks like Dominic Kubera, who was the meeting leader with 13 points from 5 rides, a very fast skater, a very good display, and Dominic Kubera wins the Grand Prix Challenge with Kasper Varina in second place and Leon Madsen in third. And the man who came third last year in the Czech Republic, Dominic Kubera for Poland, is the winner of the GP Challenge, and Kasper Varina in his first ever GP Challenge has gone on to make that a Polish 1-2 ahead of Leon Madsen and Andrzej Lebedevs. Dominic Kubera, a rider who has been there or thereabouts in the Grand Prix for the last 3 years, still awaiting that big result, that big breakthrough of a Grand Prix victory, or a big result in that sense. We saw him as a wild card in the GP back in the COVID days initially at Lublin, getting onto the podium in Grand Prix. He's yet to win one. That might not be too far away. Kasper Varina celebrating with his crew because his job is very much done today as well, with a place in the Grand Prix confirmed. Kubera celebrating, enjoying the moment with this big crowd. Have enjoyed the action here in Holsted. As I said, a very well-run event indeed. 21 races completed in under 2 hours. No lengthy delays, hold-ups or restarts. Just that moment of controversy involving Michael Jepsen Jensen and Jan Kvek, as the riders continue to wheel their way around. Dominic Kubera is confirmed as the winner of the Grand Prix Challenge. Kasper Varina in second place. Third place Leon Madsen and Andrzej Lebedevs in fourth. That's one race that I don't think Andrzej Lebedevs will be too disappointed about, because his main job for the day is done as well. Kubera, Varina, Madsen and Lebedev confirmed as Grand Prix riders for 2026, and then you have to keep note of Michael Jepsen-Jensen particularly, and possibly Anders Thompson as far as qualification for next year is concerned. Jepsen-Jensen will be watching Lebedev very closely in the last 2 rounds, and hoping that Lebedev maintains his motivation, knowing that he has that Grand Prix place already in the bag to go on and score enough points in Wroclaw and Voyens to make sure he protects a top 7 place overall, because if he does, Jepsen-Jensen will be definitely in. If he doesn't, I would think that Jepsen-Jensen, based on his current form, will put himself very strongly in the frame for a place anyway as a pick, because if you finish 5th in the Grand Prix Challenge, then that's pretty good going, and there will be question marks over Mikkel Mikkelsen as well at the moment after the tough season he's had. So Denmark have definitely got one man in. There he is, Leon Madsen. Will they have Michael Jepsen-Jensen in as well? He'll have to wait till mid-September, but he certainly advanced his claims with that 5th place here today. Madsen takes the applause of the crowd. Traditionally contains 3 steps, as it does here. Lebedev's is going to end up, well, for a moment in first place, but actually 4th on the day. And smiling face of the Latvian there takes his place and confirms his seat at the top table again next season in the 4th place on the day, with a Grand Prix rider. And as we said, may well be top 7 overall this year, to open the door for Michael Jepsen-Jensen. Leon Madsen will be next to the podium. Phil Morris, the race director there, just trying to make sure that the official details can be complete here. Well done to the Holsted Club here for putting on an entertaining meeting on a really good racetrack, really consistent, offering racing lines, and Leon Madsen taking 3rd place in the GP Challenge. Made double figures at Gorichan in 2012, wasn't enough to go through on that occasion. But 3rd place today is very much enough for him. Kasper Varina will be a Grand Prix newcomer in 2026. Takes the celebrations and congratulations from the 2 riders, Lebedev and Madsen, alongside him. And it is 2nd place on the day for the Pole, who's got more to go for this season, as I said, in the Speedway Euro Championship. But pressure off that in terms of trying to win it to make a Grand Prix place. They'll be keen to still win it anyway. And Kasper Varina in 2nd place. Dominic Kubera, the meeting winner, will now have to climb up to the top step and take his moment in those clean Kevlars. Accepts the flowers and will accept the trophy in just a moment. And the winner of the Grand Prix Challenge is Poland's 26-year-old Dominic Kubera, 3rd in the Czech Republic last year. Former runner-up in the World Under-21 Series. That was 5 years ago now. And we'll now have the national anthem. Polish national anthem then for Dominic Kubera and indeed Kasper Varina, 1-2 in the GP Challenge, as the trophies are raised and the photographs are taken at the end of the event. Lebedev's in 4th place, also out there with the top 3, although I don't think they have a bottle of champagne for him, so that has been denied him, but he has the flowers, and the other 3 have their trophies for the 1, 2, 3. And the end of an eventful meeting as we get the selfies on the podium with Leon Madsen has the phone at the helm, and these are your 4 Grand Prix qualifiers for 2026. Leon Madsen takes the photo, and we know that Andrzej Lebedev's in 4th place 2026 Grand Prix. Simply the best blaring out over the Tannoy, and there are your 2026 Grand Prix qualifiers. Here in Holsted, they have found a bottle of champagne for Andrzej Lebedev's. So everyone dancing and enjoying it on the podium. Photos being taken. And 4 very happy riders who are qualified for the 2026 Grand Prix Series. Now finally they're about to open the champagne bottles, which sprays over the meeting winner, Dominic Kubera.